Yo, I'm Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at a Mountfield lawnmower, which belongs to Mrs. P's friend at work. She's got a lawnmower. I think her name's either Aggie or Angie, one or the other. She's got a lawnmower, a little Mountfield lawnmower, and she said it's starting, but instantly cutting out, or it won't start at all. She's had the mower for quite a few years now. It's a bit rusty in places, you know, your standard sort of machine. But she likes the machine because it is power drive and what have it, and it's got the Mountfield SV200 VR M55s on it, or 54s on it. I'm a fan of his engines. They're like the Honda, but they're a good engine if they're looked after, and it's coming just for a bit of a repair, get it up and running so she can cut a lawn. So I said to Mrs. P, I'll do it. So this is a lawnmower which will come in, I'm guessing carburetor clean, because everything nowadays is fuel related. Everything is fuel related. If you've got a problem with a petrol powered machine, chances are it's your fuel. The fuel goes off after 30 days on the E10. Look at that, look. That is just over about 2 months old, that fuel. It looks like a specimen sample. So we're going to go get the machine. I'll show you what it's doing. Get it up on the bench. Try and get it diagnosed and try and get it up and running so Aggie can go and cut her lawn this weekend. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. If you want to cut a lawn, probably have a barbecue and go from there. If this is the first time you're watching Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be some up on the videos. So further ado, let's get down and dirty, out on the lawn, check out this lawnmower out, see if we can get it going again. Right, let's check out this this mower. Now, although it is a lovely day, it is a little bit breezy, a little bit windy, so you may get a bit of wind interference. I can't odds that, I'm not a weatherman. So here it is over here, little tiny Mountfield. This has got the SV200 lump on it. So this lawnmower is the, does it say on it? This is the S461 PD. So it's 46 centimetre cut, power drive. Let's just try and get it run. So onto choke, which that doesn't seem to be doing a great deal in itself. What's occurring there? Hang on, we've got a bit of a dicky throttle assembly going on there as well. So I don't know if I've had it running without that. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Any fuel in the system? Let's have a little look. Yep, there's fuel in the system. So the chances are, if the throttle assembly is not working, then the machine is not choking. So let's just see what happens. And that's it. Because you can't adjust that throttle assembly, that ain't doing anything. So let's just try and manually override that if we can. I can't. But yeah, that throttle's not working. So that'd be the problem to begin with. So let's get it up on the bench then, throttle box off, see if we can't get this throttle cable to at least work and do something. That might be the issue. It may not be carburetor clean. It may be a throttle. So yeah, let's do that. Right, so mower now up on the bench. As I say, a bit rusty. Just a bit tired, but still solid and functional. Now the problem we got is, by the looks of it, here's your throttle assembly. Here it is here, and your throttle cable up the top, as you can see just here. The cable is actually either broken, sheared off, and I don't want to move that, because if I break that, they're about 25 quid. So I have got a spare one just there. Look, see that over there? So that ain't doing anything. So the first thing to do would be to remove the throttle assembly from here. 8mm bolt. We're going to take that off and just make sure this is all moving as it should be. Now, for a friend of mine was watching a video the other day about his machine not revving, that spring was correct on your video that he showed me. That is as it should be, so that was correct. Right, so yeah, 8mm there. We'll undo that and we'll crack on. So the first thing we'll do, 8mm, and we're going to get that onto there. Oh, it's not 8mm, it's 6 maybe. There's me jumping the old gun. Let's try a 6. 6 one, might be a 7. Yeah, I was away in it. Try that. Yeah, 7mm. Right, so 7mm one. I'm just going to release this cable here, which will release the throttle control. So that will tell us if our throttle control is actually working or not. Take that off. So, cool, my cable's moving, but look, that sees, oh, nearly solid. I can't actually move that at all. So that is not going to work, choke or otherwise. Let me try and remove that cable off of there if I can. There you go, that's now moving. There you go. Right, so I think it's actually a cable fault we've got. So it's choking forward, back. Yeah, see how it's getting stuck there, look. There wants a bit of cleanliness on there, so it's getting stuck. There you go. Right, cable's now moving, and yeah, that's now freed up. So I'm going to get a bit of lubrication on there, a bit of pocket rocket first off, just to get rid of any dirt and debris, and I'll get a little bit of oil, some 3-in-1 on there. Work that backwards and forwards, just so we've got a decent working carburetor, which we have. I'm now going to disconnect this cable off of that there, okay? So that's all working as it should do. We like that, okay? Next thing I'm going to do is go up to the other side of the machine. Other end of this cable, this is free, but for some reason it's not working up the top end. So let's go and check that out, and I'll come back to you. Right, so we're now at the top end of a cable where this was stuck, but now it's been disconnected. Look, this is now actually moving, but it's not moving just here. That's the bit that's actually stuck, I believe. It's running. So there's a problem inside this box, and it's where the cable, the end bits, the top hats come off. I'm hoping the top hat's still in there, because we can fix those. And I have had quite good success in fixing them, just by putting the top hat back on and squeezing it in a vise, just to make it stay there. So, little Phillips screwdriver. Disconnect the throttle assembly. Now, all this might be for nothing, right? This may be as part of the problem where the machine wasn't choking. Let me just remove this bolt. Take this out. Ooh. All the way by the looks of it. It's coming. I've got the bolt off. It still wants more. Oh my word. There it goes. Right, that's been on a little while. Right, we're now going to remove this box out, and we'll have a look inside here, see what's going on. Right, so inside the box here, there's the wheel. You can see that's all moving as it should do. We'll now separate this up. This just comes apart, right? Just be careful, mind your bits and your bobs. There's that. Now, just make a little mental note of where this stuff goes, all right, guys? You can get these upside down, so the best thing to do is just to make sure you know which way around it goes, which is that way. That's how it went, okay? I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put that face down, but I'm not going to twist it round, okay? Now this wheel here, as you can see, this is on there. So I'm going to now remove this wheel very carefully. There's a little tiny S-bend in that cable, which if it will give me it, like that, I'm going to put that on there like that, so we know which way around that goes, right? So we know it's like that. Now there's the top hat I'm on about. There's the top hat. That's what gone to there. And just double check that these are not broken. Sometimes these clips break, okay? And if they do, you need a new box. So this is broken this side here already, and these are actually reversible, okay? So someone's actually been here already. But that's where that goes, like that. But as you can see, this little tiny top hat, that shouldn't be free to move like that. That should be staying there. Now what you can do is literally just get a pair of side cutters and just squeeze that ever so slightly so that it stays there, okay? Now that's what I've done in the past, and we'll do that in a minute. Just gonna make sure this cable actually moves as it should do, and you can see it's completely free to move, okay? But we'll be putting some oil down inside there. And what I tend to do, a little tiny trick for you, is get a little bag like this, right? A little tiny paper, a polythene bag, and then literally very carefully open it up. Make sure there's no other holes in it, which is not. There's one in the just there, okay? Now I'm going to fit this cable through that hole like that. Right? I'm then going to tape that up like that, okay? Tape it all up. I'm then going to pour some oil into there and hang it up in the shed, and use that as like a funnel, right? So that the oil then goes down inside this bag and fills it up. If not, what you can do is you can just get a hole, put it in the bottom corner, furthest away from there. Just get a little tiny hole. Let me just show you what I'm on about. You think I'm all mad. Right, here we go. Little tiny hole just in there, right in the corner. In it goes. Push it all the way in. like that, all the way in. Right, there you go, that's in. Right, so now we've got a hole there. Right, now get some tape, electrician tape, and just literally tape it up like that. I'll get it taped up and I'll come back to you. Right, so here we go. We're going to now make our own cable oiler, right? So wrap it round the cable first, right? This is a bit like doing an intravenous feed, effectively. That's what we're doing. And I'm going to wrap that round and then bring that up and over the bag. Right, bring it up. That seems like a lot of faffing about, right? But if you do this, then this cable will work and it'll be all treated up. So just keep coming up, keep coming up, keep coming up, all the way, and then literally just go around the top of the bag, and then come back down again, and then like so. Take that off. Right, now here you go. Now you've got a rather nice looking intravenously fed bag with the cable inside it. Pull that cable back out of the way. So there you go, there. It's all inside. Now I'm going to get my oil. Put my oil in the bag. Put plenty in. About that much. And now I'm going to hang the bag up just like so, and then let that drip feed down. So let me bring you guys and girls round. So I want to see you guys seeing me do this. Obviously, don't think I'm going bonkers. Let me just bring you around here. Yeah, around there. You can't stop because there's a light in the way, right in your way. Thank you. Move that light out of the way. Right, so now I'm going to hang this bag. Yeah. There you go. Hang this bag up on my hook. Like so. There it is. Right, now that will now start to gravity feed. It's inside the cable, and eventually the oil will come out through here. Now what you can do is just give this cable a little tiny bit of a wiggle, not too much, just a bit of a wiggle. Now you can just spray stuff down in it, but it's quite messy. But by doing it this way, it allows you to continue working whilst your cable is oiling. Okay, we can just get a piece of tissue, which is dry, right, and put that over the bottom, tie it off, whatever you want to do, just so you don't spill it all over the place, and then give that 5 minutes or so whilst you're working in the machine, and that will be your cable oiling up. So we'll let that do its business. In the meantime, I want to check out the top hat side to make sure I can try and fix that as well. So I'll be back to you once this cable's been oiled up. I'm successfully done. Right, so I've got my intravenous drip up and what have you, and now it's taken 3 or 4 minutes, as you can see. There you go, guys. You're dripping away lovely, right? Onto my shed floor, of course. But now I can tell that's absolutely done, and there's plenty of oil inside there. You can move this backwards and forwards just to get this to run. I can do it one-handed. But now that cable's now fully oiled inside. I can now take my intravenous drip down. I can reuse the bag, put the bag in a drawer out of the way, you know, and what have you. But that's how you oil your cables up properly, right? We all know it's done then. And now I can move on to the next part of the mower repair. Right, with the cable now fully oiled, I can now put the top hat back on. Okay, now, as I say, just remember, right, this is a lawnmower cable repair. You're probably just screaming down the TV now, say, oh Mick, don't be tight, I was just buying a new cable. What if you don't have a cable? You've got to go and buy a new one, wait for that to turn up, all that sort of stuff, right? So I'm showing you how to repair stuff. It's not always about just literally buying new stuff. Make it work. Worst case scenario, you've got to take it off, right? So now, that's now on there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise that just above, see this little tiny collar here, I'm going to raise it just above that, right, about 2 or 3 mil. I'm just going to start to crimp that up. Now I want it just to crimp around the outer side of the cable, right? Just bite it on. Now, I don't want to cut through this. So these are blunt, right? And they're blunt for a reason, because I don't want to cut through the cable. Now, once that's on, make sure your cable still works fully as it should do, right? It is still moving. So make sure I've got full movement on that cable. Yeah, it's a bit rusty, but it's going. Yeah, there you go. Right, so now that's on there, I'm now going to get a pair of stubby nose pliers. Stubby nose pliers. That's long nose, stubby, so we are. I'm just going to turn the ends over on here, right? pinch, pinch. Right, that's still working. Right, so now that top hat now can't move. Right, it's not going to go anywhere. So now what we can do, we can now bring back in our little tiny wheel, push that onto there. We can now get our throttle control cable. That's sat on there like that. And we're then going to put our top hat, pardon me, wrong way around, Mick, that's got to go. These control cables always muck me up. So it goes into there like that. Into there. Whoop. See? Into that one. Into the slot. And then I'll hook this one onto the wheel. Like that. It goes around that way. Hook that into there. That's all sitting nice as it should do. I'll get this bit here. Sit that around that way, Mick. That into there. Seat it all down together. Make sure it's well seated. Everything's working. Throttle cable now, look, just to prove the point, working. So now the throttle cable in itself is now working as it should do, right, with no problems. So we've now just fixed the cable for nothing. It's taken 2 or 3 minutes. By the time you'd have got online to order a new cable, we fixed it. That's the idea of my channel, is not just about buying a new cable. You've got to fix this stuff. Because eventually, petrol machines, in their entirety, they're going to go, right? If you can't fix it, you're in trouble. I've always been one about fixing stuff. So, have I made a slight mistake there? Yes, I have, because that cable's is now upside down. But I can repair that. I've just got to make sure I get it around the right way. So I've got to take it apart again. No biggie. Because this cable, that's got to go that way. Right up against the lawnmower. So here's me just being honest, John. So I may have made a slight mistake, but it's not the end of the world. It's got to go that way, like that onto there. All right, so someone's been in here. Because that's not right. So what I can do, I can now transfer this round the other side. That's got to go onto there, which is that way, and that's where it's broke beforehand. Yeah, someone's been fiddle ferrying. Right, let's just make this work. In there, on there, I'm happy with that. That goes onto there, but now that's got to go that way round, Mick. Yeah, onto there. Don't go into there, Mick. Yeah. Yeah. That onto there. So just, like I said to you, these are reversible. You can reverse them. So now that's run the right way. Still works. Fix that again. So yeah, right. Have I got a dirty screen or what? What's going on there? No, I haven't. It's just a reflection from my light. Right, let's get this fitted back to the lawnmower. Okay, so now we're back on the mower. So now I've just got to put these cables in place. Let's release that brake cable first off, Mick or Mouse. Right. So that one in there, that one in there, fit them cables in where they need to go. That goes in to all. That little tiny nut's got to go into there, and then we're just going to screw that back up. Screw that bolt in. Now don't do this up too tight, right, just nicely. And now, look, now if it's a bit stiff, just slacken it a touch, just a touch. And just keep slackening it until you've got a good movement. Now that's working fine. That's all working fine. Yeah, that's all working as it should do. Happy with all of that. So now it's all working. Now what we can do is literally go to the other end of the machine and reconnect the throttle back onto the carburettor to try and get it to choke, and then we'll test it, see if it actually runs, and go from there. Right, we're now ready to fit the throttle cable back on. Before we do that, we want to remove the airbox cover and we want to be checking for the choke flap. Now at the moment the choke flap is actually, see it down there, is open. If we move this, the choke will close, okay? Now what's important here is to set this to choke, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get a little tiny clip, right? And this will only go on one way. It's got a little tiny notch up the top. That bit goes up the top on here, okay? We're going to get our cable, and we're just going to hook that onto our arm. Just feed it in without jabbing yourself in the finger. That really hurts, that does. You ever done that? And I've done it loads of times. Feed it into there. And it's just got to be switched around so it goes in. You see what I'm trying to do? It's just not an easy thing to do, but everything's doable. Once it starts to go in, it's just sitting just like that, you see. Right, that's now in. Right, so now we're going to put our little cable connector on. And you need to choose which way round you want to do this. I'm going to do this with my cable. It feels to be better with that up the top. That's just seems to be a better angle. Just going to do that up loosely to begin with, okay? I'm going to fit that into there. So it just holds the cable in place. Do it up loosey-goosey. Now, what's important? The important bit is to choke the machine up the top end. Set that to choke, right? Which is all the way forward like so. That's choke. And then what you've got to do then is set your machine to choke this end here. So we want to loosen this off slightly, pull this all the way back, that way towards the back. Now that is choked all the way. And we know it's choked all the way because the choke lever inside there, the flap is now closed. If it was round the other way, it would be open and that's closed just like, let me try and get hold of it, like so. That's all the way choked, so it's all the way back. This bit here, all the way back. With the machine choked up the top of the throttle assembly and this choked all the way back as far as it'll go, you then just want to do that little tiny 6 or 7 mil bolt up whilst it's all in the choke position. Okay, so I'm just going to start to nick it up. I'm going to also, whilst I'm doing it, I'm going to hold that over as far as it'll go backwards, okay? Hold that over. You can also hold this cable back a bit as well, just have it all the way back, okay? So now I'm going to do that up. Right. Keep holding it in place. Don't let go of that until you know that bolt is done up. One-handed operation. Right, there you go. Right, that's now doing that, right? Not too tight. Right, that's now choked, right? And that is fully choked on the carburetor flap just inside there. See, it is choked. So now, by rights, if I operate the lever up the top, that's off choke, on choke, off choke, on choke. And all you want to be doing is when you're checking that, as you're moving the lever, I'll try and stretch up to the top so you can see it. Not easy. So that's choke, off choke, on choke, off choke, on choke. So that's now working. We now have a working throttle. So now we have to go back outside and now run the machine to see what it does. The chances are I will be taking the carburetor off anyway to clean it, depending on how it runs, or at least, at the very least, I will be taking the bowl off, which is just here, to see what's inside the bowl fuel-wise. There might be some water in there. I just want to clean the bowl out and what have you, have a quick little clean, but we'll see. Right, meet you back outside in 2 minutes and we'll go for a quick little run and see if we haven't fixed this problem, which could have been just a throttle cable. Right, so that's all I've done so far. I haven't done anything else to this machine other than just what you've seen on that repair. Let's see if it doesn't work, does or doesn't work. So onto choke, all the way forward, pull the dead man in. Right, so it's now cutting out as we run it. But it is starting on choke all the time, which means it's getting some vapours, but it's not actually fixing the machine. So this now requires a carburetor clean. I'll be doing that in the next video. So if you'd like to video on how to fix your throttle cable, then that'll be the first video. I'll go forward now, put this machine back on the bench, and we'll do a full carburetor clean. And I'm guessing that's what it needed in the first place, but couldn't test that without a fully functionable cable repair.